This is the Givati parking lot. It is the largest excavation in Jerusalem, which has uncovered layers and layers of history from the city of David. So what better opportunity to delve into the spiritual and the mystical components of this location and of this holiday. Joining us is Rabbi Amichai Cohen of Live Kabbalah, based in Sfat.
Hey, Emily.
Hello, and thank you for coming down from Sfat to be with us today.
Awesome to be here.
I could tell you're just overwhelmed with emotion even being here, and even for you being here for the first time.
Yeah, this is a first for me, and honestly, there's so much energy over here. I mean, it's just palpable. But just to think about that, I mean, I grew up in Jerusalem, and knowing just the new city, and just to think about that for 3,000 years and more, people have lived over here. You know, this was the ancient kingdom of King David, and for all the kings, and this is where they were. So to think about that is just extremely powerful, and it's just palpable.
And especially because I think a lot of people don't realize with Shavuot, it's actually the death anniversary of King David, which we know is very important according to Kabbalah as well.
Yes, so there's so much going on, the truth is, on Shavuot on a spiritual level. So most people don't realize that Shavuot is an actual high holiday, one of the big three that all Jews in temple days went up to the Temple Mount to celebrate it. They know about Sukkot, about Passover, but not about Shavuot. But what is Shavuot all about? Shavuot is really continuation of Passover. And the way it's explained is that the Jewish people came out of Egypt during the holiday of Passover, but then for 49 days, they counted their cleansing process until they became elevated by what is called the Sfirat HaOmer, the time of the counting of the Omer. And on a Kabbalistic level, that is very significant because it has to do with really knowing ourselves and clarifying every aspect of our inner being, of our ego, of our self, animal self, etc., until we reach the place, the 50th gate, which is the day of Shavuot. So it's really all about anticipation, about reaching a level of now we are culminating, we're coming up to a high place, and that's the day of the receiving of the Torah.
Wow, amazing. And when we're, you know, and speaking of anticipation, I mean, it's such a big word. I mean, we're in the time we're talking about. We're in the times of Mashiach. There is a lot of anticipation in the air. How can people kind of use this energy of anticipation in their own practice in terms of elevation as well?
So that actually gets us right into the gist of the holiday of Shavuot. So, and King David. So King David actually, like you mentioned, passed away, which is called the Hilulah. The day of the passing is a very powerful day. And King David is called the sweet singer of Israel. And with his harp and with his psalms, was singing to God in each and every situation that he was in the good times and in the bad times. And in all situations, one has to yearn to come closer to Hashem, to God, to the light, to come close to their highest selves. And that is really another lesson of Shavuot. It's the day of the giving of the Torah, but it's also the day that we practice this idea of prayer, and we deepen our idea of prayer. And a very practical takeaway that all of us could take away from all of our listeners that are watching is it's the day of the giving of the Torah that we could practice a little bit of learning every day. And every day if we study a little bit, it's so powerful. And every day if we add a little bit of prayers to our day-to-day, it makes life just different. I just got a parking spot over here. I was like, come on, King David, let's do this, and it works. So that's obviously a small thing.
Example.
But there's prayer and there's yearning, anticipation, and that's what it's all about.
Amazing. Now let's tie in the Ruth component again. Shavuot was something that happened at Mount Sinai. We think of Shavuot as the reading of the book of Ruth, which was completely a different time in Jewish history. So what is the meaning of Ruth to this whole story?
So I love the story of Ruth. The story of Ruth is so incredible because it talks about a princess of Moab. She had everything. She was living the life. And she left it all to seek truth, to seek God. And she went to a foreign place, followed Naomi, went to Judea. Nothing was there for her. and she left it all. And that's a lesson for us, that when we see truth, then we have to seek it and we have to just go for it. As difficult as it may seem, if there's truth, then we have to yearn for it and anticipate it and really go and follow it. Walk the walk. And
Not just talk the talk.
So Ruth
now,
did
even
that.
in the case of Ruth, you know, she was a convert that was given permission by rabbis, you know, to marry Boaz, and then she becomes a great grandmother of King David.
David.
So go figure.
Yeah. So we see that someone that really seeks and searches for truth, at the end, they're going to find. As our sages say, if you work hard, Hillel actually says, Yagati umatzati, I work hard, I will eventually find. Even if it means going to a barren, foreign land, at the end of the day, there is a reward to the seeking that one has.
Rabbi Cohen, thank you so much again for this amazing insight.
Awesome to be here. Thank you, Emily.
Thanks, and join us again.
Yes, King David.
King David, our buddy.